I'm going off tangent. Thank you. Thank you to all those women, especially this one right here, for being the foundation that I need in my life. Thank you for being so wonderful. It in turn makes me want to be a wonderful person, an amazing person. Thank you for having me thinking that I can be more, I can do more. Thank you for honestly bringing out the best in me.
This song makes me think of you. I love you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. See, too often do I be hearing about women constantly upset in their relationships and how they seem to find themselves often with these ain't shit type dudes. And I feel for you, sis. I really do. I feel so bad for you. But let us not forget, not trying to act like I'm better than anyone, but just sharing my experience. One thing that's helped me, and this is what I want to remind everyone to do, men and women, everyone. Self-reflection is is very beneficial, and I strongly suggest it for everyone to make it a regular practice. Like meditation can also be a time for self-reflection. Just consider and reflect on every day. Like every time you sit down to meditate, just for a few minutes a day. Doesn't have to be a long time. Some people think you got to get at least 20 minutes in. No, I mean you can go for as long as you want, but your minimum really depends on you. If you force it, then you're less likely to meditate as long or nearly as often. What do I do with the remote? Okay, I stay losing this thing. But I feel like a little few minutes of just meditating, just reflect on your day and consider those days when you may have had an interaction that just stayed on your mind, and just reflect on it. How did you feel about it? How did it make you feel? Did it did it bother you and that's why it's still on your mind in a negative way, or was it something intriguing about it that you realized that you like? Maybe you discovered a new interest, or you discovered something that you genuinely don't like. I mean, and that's fine. We all have our opinions and we are allowed to like and dislike what we want. However, before anyone takes this and twists it into something fucked up, that does not in any way, shape, or form condone or give permission to racism and discrimination or stereotyping. If you don't like a certain race, I mean, I can't even give you a good example for how that would be acceptable. Just shut the hell up. Like, seriously, this is not that. I mean, if you talk to someone who, hell, you found out was racist and you realize, I don't like that behavior. I don't like the idea of hating someone for no reason. Or if you just found out that you don't like fish, I don't know, whatever. Reflect on these things at the end of every day if you can. Apply them to how you shape yourself in the future. If you found out that you like or dislike something, then dig into it. If it's something superficial like a type of food or a type of music or something like that, well, I mean, it just is what it is, right? But if you find that it's something that can potentially affect you, um, whether it's the way you think, the way you carry yourself, or just the way you move and navigate through life, then make sure you give that a little extra attention, especially if it's something negative. And if it's something positive, that's a good thing too. So, on the flip side, maybe you realize that you just don't like meat. It took me a while to get to this point. I am vegan vegetarian. I kind of switch back and forth because it's a little difficult to go full vegan with certain limitations. Like I have certain allergies that won't allow me to enjoy certain foods, certain vegan foods, and it's some ingredients that's just in every damn thing, and I just can't avoid it. But then I found out that actually, it's not so much the fruit, but it's the pesticides. Like I am allergic to pesticides, so I have to have organic fruits. But I digress. If you just figure out like, I don't think I really like meat. I want to try something else. Okay, that's a good thing, actually. Not putting down anyone who does eat meat because I mean, to each his own. But if you realize that, okay, don't just stop there. Apply that. So you don't like meat, figure out what you do like. Tofu isn't bad. I mean, shit, Impossible meat is amazing. Try that. Impossible meat, Beyond Meat. Morningstar has burgers, and they actually have a meaty line now. They call it Incognito. So, I mean, try something else. And ultimately, that's leading towards positive steps towards your health, towards better health. So that's a good thing. And you'd be surprised how many times and how many of us allow our health and our wellness to go by the wayside because we don't stop and reflect on it. Too many of us have learned to ignore and suppress our pains and ailments so much that they later on in life realize or contract illnesses frequently, or they're losing their hair, their nails are brittle, or their skin is a horrible mess, and they're always stressed out, and then turn around and question why. Well, these tend to also be the people with poor diets, poor dispositions, and most likely going through hell at home. If you were to sit back and reflect on these things regularly, then you would notice sooner and be able to do something about it. In my opinion, your home should be your oasis. It shouldn't be a place that you dread being at. And I feel like that's the problem. Like that was like the major issue with the quarantine. And so many of us have been in households with people that we didn't want nothing to do with. Like, let's be real. We wanted to get the fuck on. And we just simply didn't. There we go. Bring it down. We just simply didn't like who we were living with for whatever reason. Maybe it's annoying roommates. Maybe it's you're young and you're with inconsiderate siblings or housemates. Maybe you're like myself and you grew up with a narcissistic parent, so they constantly make you feel like shit on a regular basis. Whatever the case may be, these things are not to be ignored and are to be taken seriously. And for those people who grew up with narcissistic parents, let me tell you that no, you're not too sensitive. No, you're not unworthy. No, you're not a burden. No, you should not feel bad for being alive. If your parents make you feel this way, no, that's wrong. It's absolutely wrong. It's wrong. It's just wrong. I'm going to stop it right here.